I rank them. Lean Cuisine is number 1. Heidi Mason is number 2. Normandy, just because they are a bigger business on the catering side of things, is number 3. And then Piccolo, Piccolo and them being transparent and only wanting to do catered events, I rank them as number 4. So
I just don't see the opportunity here to run a food service operation, at least seeing how busy, the park has not been busy at all. I've walked here, there's been, various times, my daughter was here the other day, there's nobody here. Is it because people don't know about it yet, or, it's a beautiful park to walk.
Yeah, on the food service operations side of things, it's going to take some work. Let's say, for example, we negotiate a contract with Lean's Cuisine, it's going to take some work on their part. Once again, we're still in the parks business, and if they want to make a go of either a lunch counter or breakfast counter, it's going to take some work on their part.
Yeah. In any agreement, I would be looking at, a triple net lease. I don't know how far we can take that. Well, we won't have a tax liability, but they're going to, is there a U-bit? If we start making money here, issue, then you want them to be responsible for all maintenance, and or at least paying us for any maintenance issues with the equipment approved by you. So as we begin the leasing process, and any other building issues, who's going to be responsible for what? And we will retain ownership of the tables and chairs and all that other stuff. So, usually a restaurant comes in and they occupy an empty building and they bring all their stuff.
Will we allow? I know, again, we touched base with this last month. If the caterer doesn't have any reservations, do we allow public to rent it for $150? Or we talked about kind of like the 6 month, and then if there's nothing booked, 30 days or 60 days out, does then the public get it, or are we just going strict, and if it's empty, it's empty? How does, what I'm saying? Some of those.
One of the things I liked about Pauline's concept was a simple, my terms, a simple breakfast, lunch, and dinner operation downstairs to allow for other things to go on upstairs, whether they were the caterer or if it was just needed for a meeting facility. So I think it's all workable through contract negotiations. I hope we know how contract negotiations can go.
What's the status of the liquor permit?
The liquor permit finally about 2 weeks ago came back to us. I had a meeting with whoever it is, Department of Commerce on site. I was not aware of, I am now, that we need the food service license prior to getting the liquor license. I didn't know that. So, what's that?
Yeah.
Is that a problem?
No.
So we need to pursue the food service license through that department.
Which is much quicker and easier.
Now, if we do go with this particular contract, and we have a liquor license, they can serve liquor under our license.
They have to be listed on the permit, but yes, they can. As they operate, that's correct.
And as you're negotiating the agreement, at some point they may begin generating positive returns. Are we looking at a standard fee, or are we a monthly rental? Are we looking at percentage? What are we looking at? So those are some questions that I'd like to see thrown out there and answered.
Once again, we're in the parks business. Cleveland Parks has a flat monthly fee. And
Lake does?
Cleveland Metro Parks. Yeah. That's what I would prefer, as opposed to taking the time to audit, in a sense, audit their books, just go with a flat standard fee. Us being the leasee, them being the leaseor. They're the tenant.
And here's my concern with just initially starting out with a flat rent. They're gonna try and start this thing up. We want them to be successful. We want this to be an ongoing, operation. I don't want them coming in here and 6 months from now, it's shut down and then they walk away because it's unworkable, and then we're back at square one. And we're struggling to find somebody else because everybody else is gonna say, well, if they didn't make it, how are we gonna make it? And then what do we do?
Yeah, I've discussed, I agree, I discussed this with staff, and in a venture like this, we would propose a one-year contract with the option to renew for the second year, keeping that flat fee reasonable to cover utilities the first year, and then cover some of our known expenses.
With them being responsible for repairs and maintenance.
Yes.
And then what you may want to have is triggered in the second year, percentage.
Yeah.
So, maybe I'm not seeing this correctly or not, but if we do a flat thing and they're renting that building from us, that means we have no usage then if they don't fill it, correct? If it's theirs, they're leasing it.
I think you can work out a contract where there would be a schedule. They have to give us ample note. No one's gonna contract with a caterer and everything unless they know something's coming in at least 30 days. I mean, it's not like, hey, it's Friday, I want a caterer for tomorrow. So I think we should have the ability that, there should be a schedule that's kept by your new full-time person to determine who's using it when, and then if someone calls and says, hey, is it available for Saturday, and they got nothing going on, Saturday evenings are probably pretty tight, but if there's a luncheon or a Sunday, afternoon function, I mean, at Affelder, they just had a baby shower just a few weeks back, so my wife and I were walking it, and we was having a good time. So I mean, things of that nature, I think, but you're gonna have to really schedule it.
Yeah.
Well, it does become a slippery slope, because then how do you determine who's that, then we should never be able to touch the kitchen equipment. You know what I'm saying? If someone that rented it should just be for meeting space, because how do you determine, well, somebody used it, but we weren't there, why do we have to get it fixed?
I think the
Are
model.
we making them the exclusive food service?
Yes, they would be exclusive food
So-
service.
Yeah.
No, so you can't come, you can use it for a meeting, but you can't use the kitchen equipment. But your concern is that, well, then there would have to be some ability to lock all that stuff up, and only they would.
Which is the case now. So that's what I would propose, that let's say we require in the contract a schedule from Joe Cater 6 months out, and then it's not filled, then the upstairs is available public reservation.
Right.
And those fees come to us.
I would definitely shorten that down to 45 days or something like
Okay.
that, because, again, you're gonna get weddings and things like that are 6 months, but you're not gonna get Kiwanis 6 months in it.
That's valid, sure.
You know what I'm saying, some of the
Yeah.
local luncheons aren't gonna be planning more than 6 or 8 weeks.
Okay.
All interesting things to work out as we move forward.
Well, the exciting thing is it's a great opportunity to make our parks more and more accessible in a variety of ways. So that's exciting. It's a nice draw. And we'll hope for its success. Okay, thank you. Good discussion on that. Moving on to some standard business in any given levy year. I don't know if I want to read the entire thing, but it's probably worth reading this one, so I'll go ahead and do so. Resolution number 1119, request for levy certification from the county auditor. Resolution requesting the county auditor to certify to the Geauga Park District the total tax valuation of the Geauga Park District and the dollar amount of revenue that would be generated by a specified number of mills. Whereas the Board of Park Commissioners of the Geauga Park District had determined the amount of taxes which may be raised within the 10 mil limitation by levies on the current tax duplicate would be insufficient to provide an adequate amount for the necessary requirements of the Geauga Park District, and it is necessary to levy a tax outside of the 10 mil limitation for the purpose of parks and recreation of the Geauga Park District as provided and authorized in sections 5705 1545.19H and 1545.21 of the Ohio Revised Code. Whereas the levy is at a rate of 0.9 mil for a 20-year period of time, which is a renewal of part of an existing 1 mil levy first voted on in 2000, being a decrease of 0.1 mil to constitute a tax for the benefit of Geauga Park District. Whereas the ballot measure shall be submitted to the entire territory of the Geauga Park District, and the tax shall be levied on the entirety of Geauga County. And whereas the levy is to be placed on a November 5th,